The last property that we're going to talk about in this foldable is the identity property. We've got the identity property of multiplication and the identity property of addition. If we open up our foldable here for the multiplication side, our definition for the identity property is any number times 1 is the original number. Any number times 1 is the original number. So, for example, 10 times 1 is equal to 10. We could say -2 times 1 is -2. Even though we don't know negatives, knowing the identity property tells us that any number times 1 gives us that original number. If I wanted to use variables, I could say b times 1 equals b, the original number, the original variable. So, we've got any number times 1 is the original number. For the identity property of addition, on the other side of the foldable, we know that any number plus 0 gives us the original number. Any number plus 0 is the original number. So, for example, 5 plus 0 is 5. Knowing the identity property of addition, even if you don't know negatives, -7 plus 0 is still -7. We could use a variable, we could plug in x, and we could say x plus 0 is equal to x. We know these things are true because of the identity property of addition. So my little trick for the identity property, because we've got the identity property of multiplication and we've got the identity property of addition, is that we all have our own identity. Your name is your identity. Numbers, the number 10's identity is 10. And so if the identity doesn't change, we're showing the identity property. We don't want your identity to change. We want you to be who you are. So the same thing goes here. If we want 10 to stay the same, the identity property says we can multiply by 1 and it will stay the same. We can multiply -2 by 1 and it's still going to have the same identity. Still going to be the same number. If we add, we can add 0 and it's still going to have its same identity, its original identity. 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 is 5. It doesn't change. And so that's my little trick for remembering the identity property. We've got 2 more to go after this, and then we'll be done with property notes.